Well, hello my creative friend, it's Olga Sarakina here, and in this tutorial we are going to draw this nice little sketch of a bedroom. It's gonna be a quick and sweet drawing, so let's get started. For the first part of this tutorial, you're gonna need a piece of paper and a black liner or black ink gel pen. So, inspiration behind today's tutorial is this beautiful interior which I found on Pinterest.com. So this is a bedroom interior in one-point perspective. As you could notice, we can see only a fragment of an interior on this photo, but for my drawing I'd love to make a real room in perspective. That's why I will show side walls as well, not only this back wall. Also, we can see the ceiling here, so I really wanted to make this sketch in one-point perspective of a whole room, not a fragment of it. After showing the room in perspective, I quickly outline boxes of the objects, so I really perceive them as boxes first and then I add some details. So the important thing about one-point perspective is basically we have one vanishing point which is located on the horizon line, and all the lines are converging into this vanishing point. If you want to learn more about perspective drawing, I have a completely free online video course on perspective where I cover basics of 1- and 2-point perspective, and you can find all the information below this video. Or you can simply visit my website www.olgaart888.com and you'll find information about this course on perspective drawing there. It's completely free. Also, you'll find my paid courses for beginners in interior design drawing and for advanced. Plus, you can find on my website a blog which I run. I run a blog on interior design drawing, so really visit olgaart888.com. You'll find a lot of helpful and useful and I hope inspirational information for you. Alright, meanwhile I'm pretty much done with the part 1 of this sketch, and part 1 is all about line drawing. So I used my black liner, its thickness was 0.5. You could also use black ink gel pen, and part 2 will be all about coloring, so you can find your colored pencil or you can use markers as I will in the second part of this video. You can also use watercolor if you love this media, so anything you want to try now, go and grab it. And we are switching to part 2. I use here Chartpak markers, and I love my Chartpak gray markers. I have a set of them. It's basically a 25 marker set of gray markers, and yeah, there are all different kinds of gray tones in it. So this one in particular, it's a cool gray number 1, and the reason why I love Chartpak markers so much is because they have the widest nib ever. Like from all other marker brands, this is their defining feature, is that their nib or tip is so wide that you can cover like big spaces, a big amount of space on your paper in really no time. In my opinion, this invention of wide nib of a marker was a genius idea, because as you can see, you can get different types of lines with it by slightly rotating it in your hand. So you can get real wide lines, you can get medium ones, and also thin lines. If you are a beginner in marker drawing, I really want to welcome you to join my base video course for beginners, and I show the different techniques of coloring with markers. So find the information on my website olgaart888.com about this course if you want to take your interior design drawing practice to the next level. Meanwhile, I switched to the next color. This one is warm gray number 4 from Chartpak Markers. First, as you can see, I outline some objects and then I color all this white space with this marker. Another thing that I really love about markers is the fact that this technique allows you to make several layers. So for example, I made first layer for this flooring area and then I want to emphasize foreground, so I put second, third, maybe even fourth layer of the marker, and it deepens the color with each following layer, so that the color becomes deeper, the color becomes more vibrant. I usually love to use one layer for the background and several layers of a color for the foreground to make this feeling of aerial perspective, to make this feeling of air, of space. Alright, and now I switched to one of the darkest colors in my gray palette. This one is Chartpak Cool Gray number 8, and I use it for one of my favorite stages of sketching, and I call it enlivenings. So by enlivenings I mean adding some nice details and accents to enliven, literally enliven your sketch, to breathe life into it. And I adore this color. It's not black, but it has this graphite color, like black chalk color. And what I'm doing is basically I'm spreading it out through an entire sketch. So I put it into frames, to the back of the mirrors, even to the parquet for this wooden texture on the flooring. I added to the foreground, to the bench on the foreground. Actually, I'm almost done with this particular drawing. It took me about 15 minutes max to accomplish it, and for the purposes of this video I made it a little bit shorter. So as you can see, this video takes almost 10 minutes. But in total it took me 15 minutes. So I'm in my final phase of sketching, and I took once again the first marker which I used in this drawing. It was this cool gray number 1. So I add some drops and folds on the foreground, and finally I'd love to use my black liner. My favorite liner's thickness is 0.5, 0.3 and 0.8. This particular one is 0.5. So I render some textures with it. So I show this mirror texture by putting diagonal lines on the mirrors. I will show this carpet texture and put some details here and there. So one more time, I'd love to remind you that on my website www.olgaart888.com you can find all the information about my courses for beginners in interior design drawing with markers and for advanced. You can learn from these self-paced online video courses from anywhere in the world, so it doesn't matter where do you live, in India, in Russia, in US, in Europe. It doesn't really matter. All you need is a Wi-Fi connection. Plus, let me remind you that I prepared a free course on perspective drawing for you, where I cover basics of 1 and 2 point perspective. So one more time, check this free course on my website. And finally, I make a little frame for this drawing. I put my signature, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please share this video with your friends on social media, and of course subscribe to my channel, as I post here new video every week. And let me know in the comments what are you thinking about interior design drawing and why is it interesting to you.